All right, and the stream is up. So,
Yay.
last time on A Crown of Cold Iron, our party has made their way into Fairy, using the interdimensional portal in the warehouse that formerly belonged to the group called the Weirwood. The party has followed on the trail of the missing mentor known as Mort. Folks also seem to be calling him the Knight for some reason, as well as humans that seem to have been trafficked away into Fairy through the same portal. It seems like all of your various threads are converging in a way that is making things a little tense. All signs are pointing to the territory of Lord Lambton, Oryx's sort of
Patron.
ancestral
Technically.
patron, I guess. The not the patron, not just for you, but for your whole family, your whole sort of community.
The bitch ass that runs the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you are chasing after your cousins, Argent and Stultus, who were quite literally seen leaving with a human child and passing through the portal. So you've discovered that Fairy is a dangerous place. You met a strange coven of hags almost immediately. Folks who were maybe lurking in the background in your previous short jaunt into Fairy to retrieve the Claw of Buchan. These strange figures, and they were able to help point the way. They also gave you various ominous warnings about things to come and set you on your path. Not too much later, you were trying to cross a wide but shallow river and found yourself attacked by animate plant fae. They tried to crush you. You successfully fought them back. Auric had some kind of strange deja vu related break where he was struck by the sense that he had been here before, though perhaps in a different circumstance than currently.
Was it deja vu all over again?
It was not a pleasant experience, and that's all I'm going to say.
By the way, Joe, did you know your camera's not on?
Yes.
Okay.
There
I
was a
not
lot
sure.
of light behind
Yeah,
me.
there's still a
But
lot of light, so it's better now.
no worries. So, you all fought your way through the encounter with the Fey plant creatures, and you have made another attempt to navigate towards Lambton's territory. We left off with sort of an ominous third person view. You all have found a beautiful lakeside. Your path seems to be leading you down the shore of the lake, but as our camera sort of pulled away, some perception checks were failed, and something was moving unseen in the water.
Swear to God, if it's a damn sea cucumber, gonna be.
Those are the only plants for now. My plant plans. So there is rippling in the water, and just for the sake of fairness, it's been a week. Let's see how the dice are treating you all. You've already made one roll at this, so I'm gonna have the three of you roll this again with disadvantage.
Perception?
Yep, perception
Okay.
with disadvantage.
Well, that's a great start.
Okay, a 9. I didn't roll either of those very well, so it just kind of didn't matter.
All right. Yeah, so that sort of underwrit where you all were at. Um, this is a weirdly beautiful part of Fairy. It's this borderland between summer and to one side and winter to the other. Summer and winter, both in their extremities, tend to become almost a little cartoonish. Summer, even though it is still quite dangerous, tends to get very oh shoot, who does the like very kitschy sweet landscapes?
Thomas Kincaid.
Kincaid. I was gonna say Rockwell. That's not right. Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas Kincaid.
Summer tends to get a little Thomas Kincaid, even a little bit Lisa Frank in places. Winter can get a little bit edgelord. Sort of Leonardo DiCaprio dying in the snow, Oscar bait kind of vibes.
Oh, I was thinking like Edward Gorey.
Well, here in between, it's a little bit more real, but with an otherworldly beauty to it that marks it as distinctly different from Queensboro or any part of the human realm.
So Van Gogh.
Bob Ross.
This is Rossian. But the Fae Bob Ross, who has orchestrated your fate, has decided that everyone could use a little friend.
Are they happy little trees?
Unfortunately, they are not happy little trees. They are giant tentacled frog monstrosities, which you discover as tendrils lash out at you all from the water. I'm going to have
We just
Cyrus,
talked about this, Colby.
Cyrus and Lexi both make dexterity saving throws.
Wait.
Oh,
Ooh.
ouch.
As a rogue?
Yeah.
Not one.
Oh.
So I haven't rolled yet. I just realized, Colby, that I'm still I hadn't turned off rage yet. Would I still be raging?
You would not be raging because it's been several turns. You're probably like an hour or more down the road.
Okay. Okay. Let me turn that off real quick then. So that I. There we go. All right.
Yeah, I'd love to give you your other feature, but you don't see this coming. So your danger sense. Actually, no, that does work. It doesn't say you have to see it coming.
Who, me?
Oh no, it does say that you can see. Hold on just a second. You go ahead and roll that. I'm gonna go shut the door if you can't hear my panting dog.
Okay, because I was going to ask a quick question. Do I do that with advantage then, or am I blinded?
No, because you have to see it, and we have established that you did not see this coming.
Okay.
The dice spoke twice.
Yes. Okay. I will roll.
Oh.
18.
Didn't need the advantage anyway.
Didn't need it anyway. Lexi does a back handspring. Oh, well.
The issue with getting comfortable with a virtual background is you end up putting your arm up on a lake.
Somehow I forgot to take my meds last night.
Problem.
Yep. Explains why I had trouble falling asleep last night.
You're fine.
Russell has just sprawled bonelessly on the hardwood trying to cool off. All
It's
right.
hot, man.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, on an 18, poor Cyrus, I feel like the dice have it out for you. Like, I don't know. It's almost like every time.
Like, if you're supposed to be good at it, we're gonna roll.
I mean, especially if it's something awful like appearing from ambush to attack. It just always seems to go extra wrong for Cyrus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, everybody go ahead and roll for initiative. And here's how the rest of you all experience this. Lexi, you feel something cold and wet suddenly like slither along your ankle. and you have just enough notice to like leap out of the way using your barbarian strength as whatever it is suddenly like cinches and tries to lasso your ankle and drag you away.
Okay.
Cyrus, your first sort of moment of awareness of what's happening is the world turning upside down. You are walking along, and then suddenly you're looking at like Lexi's calves for just a second before you are yoinked through the air. A massive frog monstrosity covered in tendrils sort of slinks its way up out of the water. A tendril already wrapped around Cyrus's ankle and holding him upside down about 20 feet out from the water. Auric, all you know is that Lexi suddenly jumped, and what sound does Cyrus make as he is yoinked?
What?
I think it's probably just a curse.
Yeah, so you just hear this like rapidly Dopplering curse as Cyrus like is yoinked off into the distance. Let's see. Oh, Cyrus, go ahead and give me an initiative roll. Doing well. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, in a way that makes sense because like he's kind of on his feet or not on his feet at the moment.
You know what though? You're still
Prone.
gonna go before they do, so that's good. Oh darn! I did that again. Hold up. Gotta drop updated Vela and Marta into the fight. Oh, cool. I can adjust them and they will appear correctly. Ooh, awesome. This encounter builder just keeps getting better.
Yay.
All right. Lexi, you are first.
All right.
And I would say you'd see this one too, because this other one tried to yoink you.
Oh.
Are there two of them?
Oh.
Everybody
Oh.
needs a little friend.
Okay. Sorry, because of where I have the Zoom call, I did not see.
I just revealed it because
Okay. I was like, I don't see this. Yeah, I can see where it is now, so that's good. Okay. Are you the one doing the pulls?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm the one doing the arrows.
Okay, that's fine. I was just kind of confused and didn't know what else was going on. Okay.
Making measurements.
So I'm assuming then that the one that is at the top of the screen is probably the one that went after me that I dodged.
yes.
Okay. See here. So turn my rage back on.
I would like to re-rage.
It's a dangerous thing. I'm running out of rages.
Reduce, reuse, re-rage.
Yeah. This is rage number 3 of 4 for me, so gonna have to be careful. All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna rage and here. Oh, each block is 5 feet.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I'm gonna run about 20 feet, and I guess I need to move up next to it. Beat it with my mallet. That's a 25 to hit.
Let me double check, make sure there's not defensive abilities that I've forgotten about. 25 definitely hits.
All right, 16 points of damage.
All right.
And then I hit again. It's a 16.
16 is also going to hit. These are big, unarmored, beefy, tentacly frog boys.
Okay, 13 points of damage.
Jeez.
Recording in progress.
Well, that happened.
Okay.
That was a thing. I think haste only has a duration of a minute, so
Okay. I had just been asking about haste from earlier, so
Yes, haste
That's
would
the only
have
thing you
haste would have
missed.
worn off. And actually,
okay.
when haste
That's the only
wore
thing you
off,
missed.
you would have had a
Yeah.
moment of like disorientation and sort of
Okay.
lethargia, but you would be
Yeah.
fine now.
Okay. Well, I think we finished the fight before haste wore off, so that happened off screen.
All right.
Okay.
So bonus action, movement. Anything else?
Yes, I have done everything.
All right.
I guess no, I don't want to disengage with it. I don't want to step back. Probably not. Yeah.
Whoops. I coughed into an open mic. Sorry, everybody.
Y'all cannot see this cat that is sitting, feet from Joe, staring super, super intently at his hand. Because hand controls the remote. And when the remote pauses the video, it's treat time.
All right. Marta is going to try and help set up. Actually, she's going to go try and help Cyrus. Marta is going to go ahead and try and she's going to make some athletics checks. Her goals are to knock this thing down and to knock it prone. And she has advantage on these checks and is considered a huge creature when she grapples. So
nice.
She gets a nat 20. So, Cyrus, you have another moment of disorientation very briefly, and you feel the cold, wet tendril around your ankle come loose. And there is a as this giant frog creature is fully just like shoved to the ground by this tiny elven princess.
Because why not?
Which you all know better. So yeah, she uses 2 of her attacks to do that, and then she's going to try and headbutt it. With an 18 to hit. Her black horns are in full display. The distinctive black straight horns that mark a Tarrasque. She just and punctures into this thing, knocking a chunk out of it.
Ugh.
Yep. I guess knocking a chunk into it. Vela is going to use one of her new fun updated abilities. She's going to use her Flame Mark spell. She's going to create a glowing fiery rune. Whew. Which does a good chunk of damage. She creates this fiery rune, and it like flares out and it burns, but it also leaves this this runic word that Auric you would definitely recognize. It's just the runic word for fire, and it's in a draconic script. She's going to fire one at the other. It's going to miss. It's going to try and do it again. It's going to miss again.
Don't worry, just wrestle.
All right, that was her turn. Auric, you're up.
Okay. Since Vela used fire, did it look like it like because these are in the water, did it look like they were less affected than normal or just regular?
Oh, hey, I didn't read that correctly. It is less affected.
All
So
right.
actually, that only did 8 points of damage.
Tells
Yeah,
me what
it
I'm
does
doing.
seem like it did less damage. Although I will say, you do notice that that rune is sort of hanging out, and you've seen that. It seems like that amplifies the effect of fire magic.
Okay. Even so, let's see. Hello? I am not sure that I have.
Are you not having?
Are you trying to figure out where
Oh.
to drop a fireball, a lightning
Uh,
ball, or something?
So I'm apparently moving things, but it's not displaying when I move myself around. But yes,
Oh,
I am
weird.
dropping a lightning ball because I have Evoker's Exchange.
Ah,
So it will be here if you can see the ping. I don't know if you can because I can't. I'll probably have to refresh the page.
yeah, I'm not
Far
sure.
enough back. I'll just refresh the page and it'll probably be fine. But far enough back that it won't hit Lexi or Marta, but still close enough to hit both of them.
Oh,
So they will need to make a dexterity save of 16 against my fireball, lightning ball.
Dang, I did that again. I apologize.
Oh, that's
all
all
right.
right. 6.
They're going to make some dex saves. First one only gets a 13. Second gets an 18.
All right, so that was 34 damage or half for the one that saved. And I'm going to do that actually as a bonus action. Burn a.
So before you commit to your next spell, something unusual happens. So you drop this lightning ability. The first one gets hit by it, and this is very unusual. It's almost like the rubbery hide of this creature is not as susceptible to electricity, but you also see that as the lightning sort of crashes through it, it leaves it sort of twitching, like it has caused some kind of harm to its ability to control itself. So the first creature, that was 34 damage.
34 damage.
First creature takes 17. Second one takes 8. But they both have half movement speed and disadvantage on dexterity saving throws until the end of its next turn.
Okay. So like I said, I think I wanted that to be a bonus action so that I could also throw a cantrip firebolt at the one that Vela marked.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
That's a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
On 2d10, I rolled a 4.
ew.
Well, the good news is you get to roll an extra d10 and then add your draconic bonus.
And add the draconic bonus, which is 3. So it's 7 plus this new d10. Ah, an 8, so 15.
So that'll be reduced to 7. Yeah, I these things have both resistance to lightning damage, but also have the shock susceptibility trait. And I was like, Googling, is typo? And they were like, no, that seems to be on purpose.
Fascinating.
All right. Action, bonus action. Anything else?
Let's see. How far away are they from me?
Looks like 40
I
feet
am
each.
going to back up about 20 feet.
All right.
And now I'm done.
All right. Cyrus, it is your turn. Marta has freed you and knocked this creature to the ground. This is about as good a setup as a rogue could ask for.
So the closer one is prone.
Yes.
Okay. But which one has been taking? Which were Vela and Auric focusing on the top one or the bottom one?
So Vela hit the top one once, missed twice on the bottom. Auric dropped a lightning ball in between them and hit both. And Lexi has been wailing on the one above and Marta on the one below. The one above is hurt more, but the one at the bottom is prone.
Okay. Yeah, but that doesn't actually help me for shooting. So
You could go stab with advantage.
I mean, that's true.
Get them tasty crits.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, I selected my dude once. All right, so we'll go. First one is a 24.
24 hits. There you go.
There's the crit.
She set it up perfectly.
All right, so
So that is 10 on the blade itself.
yep.
And what's them big crit numbers?
So, and then double sneak attack. Is that right?
Yeah, you should be able to right click it and run it as a crit as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Although you might even have a set of these. I'll see if I can get them to focus. I got a box of D6s. It's like a Chessex set that's just all D6s, and I'm so looking forward to using it for crits and fireballs.
Yes.
Whoa, 34 damage. Jeez.
We're not done.
I'll say you still have to roll damage for the first hit.
Yep. And
Ill
if
Omen.
I hit a creature with both short swords, I deal an extra D6 psychic, and it has to make a wisdom save.
My goodness.
So that.
Did roll an 18 on the wisdom save.
Okay, so that'll succeed. Additional 1 point of psychic.
Jeez, that was still though. Actually, hold on. I rolled for Marta. Let me roll for this thing. Nope, it got a 7.
All right. So just in case it tries to run away, I guess I know where it is for the next.
Let's find something to mark it with here. I have all these token sets and I forget to use them. Oops. I'm going to mark it with a flag. All right. Nice squeaky chair. Action, bonus action, movement, anything else?
Nope, I think I'm good.
These creatures are finally going to go now that they've gotten wailed on. That's all right. We'll start with the topmost creature. Yeah, Oric, moving was a good plan. So, yeah, it's just going to lash out some tentacles at Lexi. That's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That is 23 points of damage, reduced to 11.
Yeah.
And you are grappled.
Okay.
And it's going to swing at you again. And it's going to get a nat 20 on the die. Ugh. $34 points of damage, reduced to 17.
So Lexi's really hurt.
You are extra grappled.
There's been a lot of 34s this combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt real good.
Yeah.
And now it's going to bite you.
Great.
19 on the die for a 29.
So that's 14 points of damage?
No, that's the hit.
That's just the hit.
Okay.
Damage
Yeah.
is 21 reduced to 10. But your Frog's Wild Ride is just beginning. This thing
Lexi
lets
takes
out
16
this
health points.
squelching. I never know how to say this word correctly. Ululating? Is that the pronunciation?
Undulating?
It's like and just this flurry of like tentacles, and you are grabbed by these two tentacles, and you have a moment of, oh wait, surely it's not going to, and its mouth opens wide, and
This is exactly what I told Colby on Twitter that I didn't want to see. Did you see that conversation?
oh
Did you
no,
see
no.
that Twitter conversation? Because that
creature
happened.
that creature will be way worse than this when I make it. Don't worry. This is Nightmare in a can. When I'm ready for that, you're gonna get like the good homemade stuff. All right, you are swallowed.
Okay.
You are blinded and restrained, but you have total cover against attacks.
Because I'm inside of it.
Yep.
Yes, and
I guess I should have done my reactions, shouldn't I have?
yeah.
I'm a little distracted by getting the shit beat out of me.
And you feel an immediate burn, which suggests that the inside of this creature is acidic.
All right.
Just because she hasn't done it lately, Marta is going to go ahead and use a legendary action, and is going to shift up to this creature, and then the other. No, she's not going to do that, because if she does that, Cyrus is going to have a real bad day. It is the other creature's turn. The creature is prone. So it's going to use half of its movement to stand up. Oh, interesting thought. its speed is halved. I don't think that works. I've come to realize that the way that speed is written is really unhelpful. Because there's actually two different speeds. There's like your total, there's three different speeds. There's your movement speed. There is your total speed that you can move in a turn. Then there's how much speed you have remaining. And they are not always the same thing. And we act like they are, and they're not. This creature is going to pull itself up. And it's going to make one tentacle attack against Marta. That's only a 15. That does not hit Marta. It's going to make one against Cyrus. Only a 16. What will it do? It's going to try and bite Marta. Whew. This thing rolls a 25 and swallows Marta.
Oh boy.
Bye, Marta.
21 points of damage. Don't worry, swallowing Marta is going to be a much bigger problem for it than for her. All right, that is its turn. We are back to the top. Actually, no, we're not even going to get there. Marta is going to use a legendary action to go ahead and punch this thing before her turn is over. She is restrained, so she rolls a disadvantage. It's only a 9. All right. Lexi, you are inside this critter. Let's see. You need to... no save. 3d6 acid damage. You take 8 points of acid, reduced to 4.
Okay.
So you are blinded and restrained. But if you reckless attack, you can offset that, and no one can hit you anyway.
Okay. When can I do that? My next turn?
Right now.
Why can't I
no.
do that right now?
It's your turn.
I thought I just went.
No.
Oh. I'm stuck. We were on the monsters.
Yep, we were still on the
Yep.
monster.
Okay. So I can reckless attack.
Yep. And you are
All right.
inside.
Inside. So yeah. Remind me what reckless attack does. It's
So
just
reckless gives you advantage, which will counteract the disadvantage you currently have.
okay. Thank you. So I rolled an 11 because I rolled a 4 and a 1.
That was both attacks.
No, that was the first. That was my advantage. My first attack with advantage.
So, sorry, it evens out to just a regular.
Yeah,
roll.
it'd be flat. But go ahead
Okay.
and roll another one. Just roll this one flat, though.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that explanation because you confused me. Oh, good. A 23.
23 will hit.
Much better than the 1. All right.
Oh, I think also... Let me double check how something is worded.
11 points of damage.
As written, you can use a blinding light from inside of this creature.
Okay.
If you would like to go ahead and have it try that.
Yeah, I will. How is that? How do I have that? Is that one of my
That's
spells?
the upgraded hero light you got from the disturbing piece of quartz that Marcus Prim had.
Okay.
That's the
So
right
is
name,
that
right?
my
Marcus Prim?
Is that still my cantrip then, or
So that is a reaction.
that's a That's my reaction. Okay.
And somehow it fails, even though it has a really high constitution save.
Okay.
So roll 4d6 and your mallet damage. Oh, you already rolled mallet, so
Well, this was my 1d6 plus 3.
yeah.
Okay.
So you did exactly the right amount of damage.
Okay.
This thing is going to make a Constitution saving throw, and if it fails, it is going to spit you up.
Oh, wonderful.
You have given it indigestion.
What I'm good for.
You all from the outside, this is a surreal sight.
I'm sure.
I imagine you probably hear muffled swearing from Lexi.
It's fucking gross, man. Ew. What did you eat?
Yeah. You all are hearing that at like a great distance. And then you see like one part of the frog's gullet go whoop, and then another part go whoop, and then there is this explosion of light, and it's just continuous. And the frog opens its mouth, and there's just light gleaming out like a spotlight, and it goes. And is going to spit Lexi back out onto the shore. The good news is you fall immediately into like low water, and it's going to wash most of this off of you.
That's good to know. Because that was kind of gross.
You did also buy bath potions, which feels particularly prescient at this moment.
Yeah. I'll wait till the fight's over to take one.
All right, that was your action. That was a reaction. Anything else?
Nope. Unless I can bonus action take a healing potion.
Yeah, I'd allow that.
Given that I have 12 health out of 93, so Lexi's almost dead by her standards.
Which, like, is just how Auric wakes up in the morning.
Exactly.
True.
You functionally still got like 25 hit points.
All right, so if I want to do a healing potion, what do I need to do here? Where are you?
Base healing is 2d4 plus 2. Greater is 4d4 plus 4. We'll go ahead and start into Marta's turn.
Okay, 4d4 plus 4, is that what you said for the greater?
Yep.
Thank you.
Marta is going to go ahead and burn a legendary action at the end of your turn.
That's
So she's going to make another horn attack. Misses. Whew.
plus 4 is 12.
And another strange sight. This other frog creature. You're hearing muffled yelling. Although in this case, not actually that muffled. Marta is yelling like supernaturally loud as she gets angry, and it's starting to be interspersed with like kaiju roaring. So it like slips between like swear words and Sylvan, and then that like and for a second, you can, Cyrus, you're close enough. You can visibly see the imprint as her horns like push the inside of this thing's stomach, but aren't able to sort of puncture. And there's a slight pause, and the sound stops, and then like green mist starts like coming out of like wounds and orifices on this thing. She is using poison breath inside this thing. So it's going to make a dexterity saving throw. It's going to get a nat 1, which makes sense because she is inside of it. Appropriately enough, this thing immediately starts hacking and coughing. And when the mouth opens, there's a of green mist in the air, and Marta is also spit back out onto the shore. All right, that was her turn. It is the updated Vela's turn. Vela has seen that fire and lightning are both being a little undervalued. Auric, she has been sort of. I mean, let's be real. She's been playing with your Evoker's Exchange whenever you all sort of work out together. Um, and she seems to have figured something out. So you see her gathering this like sphere in her hand, and it's usually fire. And this time it's almost this invisible pulsing sphere of like sound waves. She is creating a thunderball in her hands and is going to throw it between the two creatures. Whew. First one succeeds, second one fails. Yowza. First one takes 19 points of thunder damage. Second one takes 38 points of thunder damage and is going to be knocked prone again. So they had their turns. So they are no longer slowed. There's it sounds almost exactly like the sonic mines from Attack of the Clones. It's just like a whoa. But it like flings, it like carves a sphere of water like out. It's like shoved out of the way, and both creatures are pushed slightly, but one of them, the ripples like continue to pass through it. And you watch this whole thing like ripple like water, which seems to hurt it very badly. All right, Auric, you are up.
Oh, dang. Really wish I had that type of damage now.
Mhm.
Oh, well. Let's see. How many sorcery points do I have? I've only used half. How hurt do they look?
They're both big, beefy frog boys, but they're both pretty hurt.
I'm gonna focus on the one that's fighting Lexi.
All right.
I will cast a scorching ray, by which I mean lightning ray.
All right. So that's a level 2 cast.
Level 2 cast.
So that'll be 3 bolts.
Yep. First one is a 3 on the die, so 11 to hit.
Uh, 11 is. Oh, actually. Oh, no. 11 just barely misses.
Next is a 17 to hit
17 hits.
for 8 electric damage.
All right. You got one more.
Third one will be 12 to hit.
12 is going to miss, unfortunately. It's not even that it misses. It's really just that this thing is like, just like thick and rubbery, and the lightning just sort of skitters across its surface and does not find purchase. But the attack that you landed, you see that the same effect as last time. It isn't as much hurt by it, but it like.
Yep.
And it's a wild number of limbs for this to be happening over. There's like 4 tentacles, and the tongue is doing it, and the limbs are doing it. It's a mess. All right. Cyrus, you're up.
All right. So the one, did you say the one in front of me got knocked prone again?
Yes, it did.
All right. Well, then let's do it up again. Same number twice.
That'll hit.
I almost want to. Do I have another? Oh, I have another one. All right.
So just kind of a mental check-in. This is like... Oh, nice. Dirty 20. Both of those are going to hit. With maybe the exception of the Raven Palace, this is like some of the most prolonged combat you all have had in a long time. Maybe ever. I feel like the scene would be part of a montage that plays Welcome to the Jungle. And it's just you all fighting all of these like weird creatures and being like more and more sort of worn and bedraggled and bloodstained at the end of each fight.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's 18 with the sneak. So I think you have one more roll.
Yeah, and then the.
Oh yeah, and then the psychic. Whew.
Bit of an extreme difference there.
So this creature has been knocked over by the force of Vela's Thunderball. Marta is still kind of like recovering. And Cyrus, once again, you've kind of gone for this opportunistic attack, bringing ill omen sweeping in. And you make these sort of long, like, tears in this creature. And there is this... Almost all Fey blood that you've seen has this, like, sort of opalescent sheen to it. And this stuff is just sort of, like, gushing out and starting to stain the surface of the water around you. And you stab it with the first hit, you stab it with the second, and it's still standing. And then whatever secretive eldritch magic runs through ill omen triggers just a moment after the second sword hits, and that 1 point of shrieking psychic damage flies through its already beleaguered and distressed mind, and something snaps, and the creature just the tongue just unfurls like the grossest fruit by the foot. Some kind of novelty fruit by the foot that's like 30 feet long. And it takes so long. It's really sticky, and it takes a while for the texture to sort of unfold. And it just sort of ribbons out and very slowly like falls all the way down to the grass and then just keeps rolling out along the grass until the full like 20-foot length of the sticky tongue is just... So functionally that creature is dead.
Awesome. All right. Cyrus is going to slide back to there.
All right. So it's dead. It doesn't get to go. Lexi, you're up.
All right. So I'm in front of the one that's still living.
Yep, it's getting pretty hurt.
It's getting pretty hurt. I'm going to hit it. I'm simple like that. 15.
15 hits.
17 points of damage.
Your hammer leaves this like your mallet leaves this huge, deep. To call it a bruise is unfair. This is to a bruise what a saber-toothed tiger is to a cat. This is like a deep crushing of this creature. It is
Okay.
very, very, very hurt.
I repeat the process. 16.
That also hits.
11.
How do you finish this horrible frog monster that swallowed you?
I grab the end of the bat by both hands or the mallet and not just like baseball bat it, but like physically turn my body like in a circle to make sure that I am like hitting it with the fullest force imaginable. Because I'm just pissed.
All right.
Just pissed. Because I feel gross and didn't want to take bath potion until after the fight was over. Just in case it got swallowed again.
You do see that the water here is sort of rapidly washing away sort of the gunk and mess of this horrible creature. That drops us out of initiative order.
Okay.
What do you all want to do?
My first gut instinct is to see if it's safe for me to wash the rest of me off.
Give me a perception check.
Jeez. 12.
On a 12, go ahead and roll one more time. Marta is going to offer you some insight, and we're going to see how helpful her insight is based on your reroll.
Fucking 13. The fuck is wrong with these dice?
So we'll just see how this is. Marta says, these creatures were probably the biggest things in this lake, or at least in this part of this lake. I think you'd be okay for a little while. I wouldn't linger, though, and I wouldn't go very deep.
Okay. Well, Lexi is perfectly capable of laying down on her back in, 6 inches of water to, wash herself off if she has to.
I feel like that's a very depressed looking scene of like Lexi's just had this hard, difficult battle and then just like lays in like the 5 inches of water. Just like
Trying to like wash the gunk out of my hair.
it has a real like I don't know, like disaffected late 90s movie vibe of like, someone's just wondering what to do with their life and they just lie in the water. Just like
And it's raining.
some song we can't license is playing.
Yep.
All right. So, Lexi is all cleaned off. You see Marta kind of does the same thing. But Marta is sort of fearless about it. She just like goes out about 10 feet, fully sort of dives down and comes back up and sort of shakes some of the water off. As she walks out, you see that some kind of like opportunistic scavenging lake monster has grabbed onto her leg, but is not able to bite through her scales. And once she gets out of the water, she just like grabs it by one of its long, spindly legs, smacks it against the ground to stun it, and then just throws it back out into the water. Does not seem bothered by the interaction at all.
Yeah.
Right then.
All right. What's the plan now?
Have we used our tattoos yet this go around?
I don't remember.
I feel like I've only. We had a short rest at the cabin. and
Yeah,
I
we
think
had a
that's-
short rest at the cabin, but I don't think we've used them since we got into Fairy now.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I think I will use my tattoo
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
and see if I can actually do it correctly.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
In
how do
the
we do this
system.
again?
Short rest. Firm. Hooray! I am healed-ish.
Okay. How does this work like a short rest? Is that
Yeah.
okay? So if I click on that.
So how many dice would you like to heal with, if any?
Um,
I'm assuming you want to heal if you're using the tattoo.
yeah,
So
I
what you're
can
gonna
do
is-
up to 8.
You can do up to half. So you've already
Oh.
used 4. Use the other 4.
Okay. So,
And I figured out what we did wrong last time. So
okay.
click the marks
Click the marks. Okay. Ah,
and then actually click the dice amount before you say take short rest.
okay.
That's what we failed to do last time.
Okay.
And now take your short rest and confirm it.
Okay. So I healed 31 points.
Nice. I heal points,
Okay. Well, much better for
which
me.
I actually didn't get hit this fight, but I was still hurting from last time because I
Yeah.
chose poorly on how much to heal. I mean, no, I got hit by the tree monsters.
Yeah.
I was thinking all the way back to the.
All right. So you all sort of take a moment. The effect of the tattoos in Fairy is sort of alarming.
Good.
There's no other way to describe it. The tattoos, each with their own symbol, they flare and fully just tear a chunk out of like the substance of Fairy. For a moment, it leaves this long, jagged, like tear in the world. There is this deeply unsettling sense of like looking into nothing. And the substance that it has ripped away filters through the tattoo, and you feel this like magical revitalization running through you. And slowly the edges of the tear start to heal. But it is very slow. And it's got sort of an osmotic quality to it. It heals almost like all the other substance of Fairy just sort of like shifts just a little bit. It's like a gradual, the air nearby becomes a little bit less real, like it's sort of bleeding to fill in the gap.
Guess I should have seen that coming.
Working.
The tattoos healed us by ripping a bit of Fairy out of existence.
Ouch. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Auric, I think there's a weird moment. You had that disorienting bout of deja vu earlier, but it's not fully going away. There is something sort of odd about being here, and you remember these tattoos. Something about them.
Mark's getting visited by his past life.
But it's like it's like trying to grab a strand of liquid out of a lake. Like you see it, you can tell that it's this different color, and you try to close your hand around it, and it.
Yep.
All right. So you all have made pretty good progress into Fairy. Cyrus, you can definitely tell you all are much closer to Mort than when you started. There's almost like a fits and starts of it. Like as you were walking, it felt like you made progress very slowly. But after you fought your way past the river, it was like you were suddenly much closer. And you didn't notice it as much then because obviously you were distracted in the aftermath of the fight. But now it's sort of the same feeling of like you have moved forward substantially all at once. It's feeling like you're getting close. So if you all are ready to move on, we're going to need another set of stealth checks and then one survival check with advantage from someone.
So we're all doing stealth.
Stealth from everyone, survival with advantage from one.
Who's got anybody got any pluses on survival?
I have nothing in survival.
With,
Okay.
with
Yeah. Because Joe and I have 0, so
And a fantastic stealth check.
good lord. I didn't do much better. The rogue.
Cyrus is doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Auric, that was dangerously close to another episode.
Yes, it was.
Can we not? No
Uh,
more episodes.
yeah, so with a 16, you are definitely getting closer. And I think Cyrus and Auric, you sort of notice this at the same time. Cyrus, you're seeing a lot more traces of humanoids. Everything up to this point, you've seen. It's basically just been the trail that you've been tracking. You've occasionally seen signs of what seems to be Argent and Stultus somewhere out ahead of you. But for the rest of it, it's been sort of untouched areas. But now you're starting to see like old trails, old prints, and there's something about them that's unusual. Auric, what do Auric's feet look like? This feels like we've tread into a really weird area, but it is relevant.
Hobbit feet.
That would be disturbing on it, like a dragonborn, and then just hobbit feet.
Hairy hobbit feet.
Hobbit feet.
3 toes in the front, kind of equidistant, and then 1 straight out the back.
So for a second, you would almost mistake them as like dinosaur prints. I think there's a weird flashback to your very first adventure, and some like hindbrain part of your consciousness goes, "Oh no, it's velociraptors again." And it hits you about the same time I think that it hits Auric. Cyrus, you realize you're getting close to what seems to be an encampment of quite a few of this creature, whatever this is. And Auric, that's right about when it hits you. You're very close to home.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh. Oh.
So better hope mom's not on the front porch,
Yeah.
among other things.
So this is all looking very familiar.
Okay.
I think you even spot something. Like, what's a significant or memorable encounter that Auric had as a child that would make him remember a certain patch of nearby terrain?
Right over there is where Mort broke his rake.
We see like a much younger Auric. This one smaller, maybe a little more silver than gold then, or at least more than now. But the gold is there and is visible. Now, did Mort break the rake, or did Auric break the rake and let Mort think he broke the rake?
Oh. Oh.
As far as anyone is concerned, Mort broke the rake.
So I think Mort. This is literally the deepest callback we can make. This is like session Mort the Moat. An existence from Auric's childhood. Not truly summer or winter fully. But almost more of a just slightly sentient being of like nature and growth, and specifically sort of a domesticated agricultural spirit. Mort was almost a sort of proto kobold, a spirit who kind of does one thing, almost obsessively. And Mort took care of plants. The sort of wisping cloud of light that sort of poured off this central moat would wrap around these items, and sometimes doing things that like didn't make sense. In this case, raking the leaves of trees in the middle of nowhere, just because it was a compulsion of a thing that needed to be done. But Mort was very popular in town. Mort took care of a lot of the plants that people just sort of took for granted. Kept the nearby forest very nice. You can see it's a little overgrown more than it used to be. There's more weeds. There's more sort of little shrubs and brush kind of pressing up through. So Auric has realized this. What are you going to do about it?
I don't know. How likely do I think it is that the whole family is involved in the kidnappings?
Give me an insight check with advantage.
Oh, hello, crit.
Oh, good.
Did I get a 23 or a dirty 20?
I mean, you know this place and this people as well as anything in the world, anything in Two Worlds. You have several reasons to think they don't know. First, Argent and Stultus are sort of specifically henchmen. That is sort of their task. Um, a lot of folks in the village are, I mean, they're sort of fey commoners. Um, what are what's the literal cottage industry of Oryx Village?
I think it's going to be brewing.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a large part of what they do. Um, there are folks who grow the different, not just grow, cultivate might be the better word, because this is fairy. There's all sorts of stuff that can go into a wide panoply of alcohols. Um, so you quite literally have Dragonborn who are Fey Dragonborn whose job is to go like tend to the mushrooms in a cave that will become part of a um, slightly hallucinogenic alcohol. Uh, those who tend fields, and there's all kinds of everyday stuff. Folks who just fix and make clothes, folks who cook, folks who uh, keep froghemoths from entering the village. Um, they pay a tithe to Lambton, and technically Lambton can come and order them to do this or that. But much like you discovered, sometimes the best way to avoid having to tell Lambton no is just to convince him you're not good for much of anything. Uh, Lambton has a very negative view of pretty much everything. Um, he thinks the people above him don't deserve it as much as he does. He thinks the people below him, all of them are useless and deserve even less than they have. Um, so yeah, several folks in your village have just realized that uh, sort of vicious compliance is a good way to steer Lambton away. Also, even though this is on the winter side of things, this is the Unseelie territory. This is still kind of a borderland. Um, and of all the Fae, sort of the type of which Auric is from is the most fluid and humanoid. It's folks who make up their own minds about things. Um, there's good folks and bad folks in your village, but it's just hard to imagine that they know what's going on and are participating in it.
Okay. Well, in that case, when I realize where we are, I turn to Cyrus and say, which way is the trail going?
Is it going through the village?
Yeah, it looks like Argent and Stultus went straight towards the village.
So that not that way.
Looks like it.
Okay.
Do you need a better disguise? Put a mustache on your face. I got Sharpies.
I mean, you've got the best disguise of all if you want to use it.
Yeah. I think at this point, if I'm not currently in Dragonborn form, I'm changing to Dragonborn form. And so that way is a village. Good folk. Simple folk, but good folk. We can probably take a quick breather there and figure out where to go from there. Gather information. Oh Lord. I don't know anybody money, do I? It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Vela's going to make an insight check with advantage. Because she might be about to call you on some of your BS. She is not proficient, which tracks. Vela gets a dirty 20. Vela gives you just one of those, like, out of the corner of her eye looks. Like, she's not going to say anything, but she knows that you're glossing over some substantial parts of this story.
Oh, don't try the mushroom beer.
Noted.
What beer should we try? Excuse me.
Maybe let me order for you
Okay.
if we get drinks.
Okay. I mean, you're talking to a bartender. Like, what if I want to like import this shit?
How okay are you with the occasional patron? Freezing is too strong a word, but the cold brew is powerful.
Okay, we may need to do some research before jumping right in.
I mean, you do know where there seems to be a permanent portal and a group of Fey rapscallions who make their trade in moving things from world to world.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to montage just a little bit because I'm going to be grilling Auric over the course of this week and not ask him to come up with all of these details in the next 30 seconds.
Joe appreciates this.
It's like, tell me everything.
Improv brain, go.
So we are going to pull back and back and back. So far back that we slip through a portal into another world, a world equally strange and alien, full of towers of concrete and glass, shrieking metal beasts that roll up and down the streets, people with steaming brown potions and styrofoam cups that warm them as they walk down the street.
Coffee.
And we notice some things. We zoom in on the outskirts of Queensboro, a district that is not one of the main historic boroughs. It's not even graced with a name. It's less than an industrial park. It's a place of warehouses and half-finished office spaces that never quite materialized into the dreams that they promised. And one of these half-finished spaces has been colonized. A group of raucous individuals are drinking and dancing, and there's music and a lot of like high testosterone sort of pushing and shoving and chest bumping. But there's an edge to it. This is not the... These are not the lovable rogues that frequent Banner and Norton's. This is a different crowd. They're all human. And an astute observer might notice a disproportionate number of certain emblems and tattoos. There's a great many stylized depictions of almost sort of like modernized heraldry. Old banners of the city, of the country. You see a disproportionate number of crowns and feathers and ravens, mingled in with some stereotypical art like barbed wire around the bicep. In one corner, there is a human man with sort of dirty blonde hair rapidly growing out from a far more professional cut. Stubble along his cheeks, just barely visible, tucked under his shirt, is a less of a chunk, more of a refined piece of crystal that gleams with a slight rainbow light. He watches the proceedings quietly, filing notes away in the back of his mind. On the other side of the room, there is another group sitting together. They have far more scars than a living person would presumably have. Wounds that seem to have healed in places that should be lethal. And they speak in conspiratorial tones as a man with longer dark hair sprawls like a lion looking down over his pride. And out in the dark, something glimmers. And it's far away, but perhaps not in a geographical sense. Something is drawing near, one limping step at a time, carrying with it a thick, dark miasma that smells of rot and death. And it gleams in the night, one burning, fiery eye fixed on the city of Queensboro as it advances one step after the next.
All right.
And that's where we'll leave off for this week.
Nice and ominous.
Mm-hmm.
That is the vibe. So that'll give us a little time to coordinate on more of Oryx's friends, family, and environs. And we will pick up at the precipice of this village of Fey Dragonborn next week.
All right.
All right, I'm going to end the stream.